Hey friends, so if you have any familiarity with poi whatsoever, then you have seen this move right here, the 3-beat weave. Not only is it one of the most recognizable poi tricks out there, but by learning it, we also learn some specific techniques that helps us out with a lot of other poi tricks down the road. So I want to take you through some of those techniques in this video. Drex here from DrexFactor Poi, sharing with you the love of poi spinning and flow arts to benefit your body and brain. And today, I'm going to take you through the 3-beat weave using 5 specific steps that are going to teach you all kinds of skills that are going to come in real handy down the road. But before we dive in, I want to give a quick shout out to the friends of the channel. Big thanks to Darkbunk, Fire Mecca, Flow Fests, Flow Toys, Juggling Calling, Pyroterror Light Toys, Spinballs, and Ultra Poi for helping to make the videos on this channel possible. You can learn more about all these awesome companies and the work they're doing to support flow artists like yourself by checking out the links down in the description of this video. And special thanks to the non-business friend of the channel, Pekka Pekkonen. Thank you so much for supporting my channel, my work, and my mission. Alright, so if you follow this channel, then you know that I already uploaded a tutorial on the 3-beat weave earlier this month. So what gives? Why does this video exist? Well, the short answer to that is that the previous video that I did was one wherein I specifically wanted to teach people how to get the trick down as fast as possible if they just really wanted to get from point A to point B. The purpose of this video is going to take you through some specific steps in learning the 3-beat weave that are centered more around techniques that are going to be super useful down the road. And specifically, we're going to go through 5 unique stages. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump in. Step 1, split time. So there are a couple different ways that we can work on split timing depending upon how familiar that might be to you already. So for example, if you learned how to do double Dutch jump roping growing up, then you already have some familiarity with using a split timing. It just so happens to be with jump ropes instead of with poi. But if that's something that you don't already have in your wheelhouse, there's an exercise I can give you that involves practicing the timing of your hands against a wall that will be super helpful in getting it down. So let's go find a wall and check that out. So the idea here is that you're going to start off with both of your hands to one side of your body, and you want to make sure that they stay in contact with the wall/mirror in front of you. You're going to go ahead and bring your right hand up and your left hand down, and you're going to wind up in a position where your arms are split on your center line, and then you're going to move them both all the way over to your left. From here, you're going to bring your left hand up and your right hand down. So once again, they are split along your center line, but separate, and bring them back together over to the right. So you want to sweep your hands back and forth across the wall/mirror, splitting them top and bottom and bringing them together to either side. This particular version of it, of course, is split time opposites, but we're going to be able to apply it to being able to do it in split time same direction as well. And I will show you how to do that when we head back to the studio. Here's what we're going to do next. You're going to want to try and wrap up the poi around your hands and then let out one coil of the poi so they're about elbow length. And you're going to go ahead and see if you can do that same motion and make your poi extensions of your hands and arms as they go around in that split time opposites timing here. When that gets to feel natural, you want to let them all the way out to full length. Again, they should just be extensions of your arms as they go around in this split timing here. Now, thus far, it's been really useful to think of the wall in front of you as being a way to kind of keep your hands switched into the proper motion here. But now we're going to get rid of that wall, and instead, we're going to kind of move the planes outward a little bit away from us. So it's almost like we're kind of creating a little egg beater with our hands here. From here, we want to push all the way out so that we're keeping the same timing, but we're no longer crossing our hands past each other. Now they're kind of walking on either side of us. And when you get to this point, congratulations. This is split time same direction. And more specifically, we're doing split time same direction in what we would call wheel plane. So let me show you what that looks like from your perspective. right, fabulous. So now that you've got your split timing down, we're going to talk about how you get that poi back and forth across your body when you perform those weaves. Step 2, Tic-Tacs. So just like when we learned split timing, we're going to want to do this with our hands first and then get our poi to follow. So follow along with me as I navigate you through what your hands need to do here. First and foremost, we're going to do this with our right hand. So I'm going to have you stick your right hand straight out in front of you. And we're going to begin by doing a spin with your hand / poi on your right side. By the way, you want to make sure that your poi is all wrapped up here, just in case that's not clear. So you're going to go ahead and from right out in front of you, you're going to drop your right hand next to your right hip. It's just going to pass by there. And then you're going to turn your upper body just a little bit to the right and reach your arm back past your right shoulder before reaching directly up above your right shoulder and bringing your hand down directly in front of you. Second part of this is that we're going to reach that hand down next to the left hip. Then we're going to reach it back past the left shoulder, directly up above the left shoulder, and straight out back in front of us. Again, it's down past our left hip, back behind our left shoulder, up above our left shoulder, and straight out in front. So, all together then, we want to sweep past the right hip, behind the right shoulder, above the right shoulder, straight out in front. Sweep it past the left hip, behind the left shoulder, up above the left shoulder, straight out in front. Do a circle on the right, boom. Do a circle on the left. Boom. You'll notice as I'm doing this, I'm using this point where my hand is reaching straight out in front of me to switch between the circle on my right side and the circle on my left side. But it's always going to feel as though my hand is kind of turning around forwards in relation to me. Here's what it looks like from the side. I do down past the right hip and back around, down past the left hip, back around, right hip, around, left hip, around. Like so. All right, cool. So if the hand motion is feeling comfortable, we're going to bring our poi into it. Once again, we're going to start with the poi wrapped all the way around our hand, and we're going to let out a single coil so it's about elbow length, and we're going to treat the poi as an extension of our hand and arm. So we're going to reach around and do a circle on the right, then on the left, on the right, and then on the left. And then I'm going to let out the poi to full length. And again, circle on the right, circle on the left, circle on the right, circle on the left. As I get to feel more comfortable with this, I can take some of the motion out of my hand and arm and put more of it into the poi. So eventually it's just the poi doing this, just the poi going circle on the right, circle on the left, circle on the right, circle on the left, going back and forth. And of course, you want to repeat all of these same steps with your left hand, thinking that from your left hand in front, you want to drop down to your left hip, behind your left shoulder, above your left shoulder, straight out, next to your right hip, right shoulder, above your right shoulder, and then straight out again. Circle on the left, circle on the right, circle on the left, circle on the right, with the hand passing through that point that's straight out in front of you in the process of this. And then you want to go ahead and let out one coil of the poi and think circle on the left, circle on the right, circle on the left, circle on the right. Let the poi out to full length and think circle on the left, circle on the right, circle on the left, circle on the right, like so. And from the front, we have circle on the left, circle on the right, circle on the left, circle on the right. Let me show you that from your perspective. Awesome sauce. Okay, so now we have to work on coordinating the two hands together. So that'll be our next step. Step 3, the 2-beat weave. So as with most things here, I think it's helpful to start off with just our hands and the poi wrapped up to understand what the motion here is. So whenever we're doing a 2-beat weave, we are also working in a place where only one hand is really going to go on top of the other one. And I'm going to start off with my right hand going on top of my left. Now, counterintuitively, whenever you're talking about one hand going over the other, it's actually the hand that goes under that starts the motion. So I'm going to take you through this step by step here. So I'm going to start this off by having my left hand hopping up and over and arriving over at my right side. I'm then going to take my right hand, hop it up and over, on top of my left hand, and then my left hand is going to sweep back down and around over to the left, and the right hand is going to sweep back down and around back to the right. Again, left up and over to the right up and over to the left. The left goes down and around to the left, and the right goes down and around back to the right. Okay, so now let's get the poi involved. Go ahead and let the poi out to full length. There's really no sense in doing this with shorter poi. And we're gonna go ahead and just start with the poi spinning forwards on the left-hand side. The left hand goes over to the right hand goes over to the left hand pulls back out and around, the right hand pulls back out and around. Let me show you that from the side here. So the left hand swings up and over, right hand swings up and over, left hand swings back out and around, right hand swings back out and around. All right, so now we want to see if we can connect the dots here and make this go a little bit faster. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the poi on my left hand spinning, and I'm going to bring it over, right hand goes over, left hand comes out, right hand comes out. Again, left over, left out, right out. Again, we want to see if we can speed this up a little bit. So sometimes it helps at this point to have both of the poi spinning at our sides. So we're going to think left over, left out, right out. Again, we think left over, left out, right out. And really in the end, what this is going to wind up feeling like is you're going to think left under, right over, and open. Left under, right over, open. And at that point, that is a 2-beat weave with the right hand on top. And yes, indeed, we also have to learn it with the left hand on top too. All right, so we're going to go ahead and speed run this, and quick reminder that whichever hand is going on top, it's actually the opposite hand that starts it. So we want to think right hand jumps to the left hand jumps to the right hand pulls back to the right, left hand pulls back to the left. Again, we have the right hand jumps over to the left hand jumps over to the right hand pulls back to the right, left pulls back to the left. We want to think right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. We want to get the poi involved, so we're going to think right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. From the side, we think right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. And doing it all together then, we want to think right, left, left, again, right, left, like so. And then we have the 2-beat weave down with the left hand going on top every time. Outstanding. Here's both of those from your perspective. And with that in mind, we're ready to go to step 4. Step 4, the short 3-beat weave. So what I want you to do is go ahead and stick your left hand out, and I want you to practice taking your right hand over it back and forth. We're only doing 2 beats at this point, but we want to do 10 reps bringing the right hand back and forth on top of the left hand. When that gets to feel comfortable, we now want to practice doing 10 beats going back and forth underneath the left hand. And of course, we want to do the same thing with the left hand and the right hand, sticking the right hand straight out and doing 10 reps of taking the left hand poi over it, and then 10 reps taking the left hand poi under it, like so. So from here, as we are doing our 2 beats over on our non-native side, we're going to work on shifting that hand from being over the opposite hand to being under it. Here's how that works. As I switch over, my first beat is going to be over my left hand, and as I switch to doing the under beat, I'm letting the poi, as it's moving forward away from me, carry it around, essentially tracing a path around my left hand to winding up underneath it. So I do a beat on top, follow the poi around underneath and back. Do a beat on top, follow the poi around underneath, and go back. You want to think of this pattern as being over, under, back, over, under, back. You want to get that down with the left hand too. Thinking you're doing over, under, back, over, under, back. Here's what that'll look like from your perspective. So real quick, before we take that final step and finish up our 3-beat weaves, if you're interested in taking your learning deeper, then I have an awesome option for you, and that is to check out the Flow Circle on my Patreon. The Flow Circle is a weekly exclusive lesson that is available only to my Patreon subscribers. Throughout the month of May, I have been sharing a number of different lessons about the 3-beat weave, from how to use it to explore volume, to adding and subtracting beats to each side, and the final lesson of the month, which is going to be on the isolated 3-beat weave. If you'd like to take your learning a little bit further, please go check it out at patreon.com/DrexFactor Poi. All right, sweet. So let's take our final step and finish up that 3-beat weave. Step 5, putting it all together. All right, so let's go ahead and start with the version of the 2-beat weave that involves the right hand going over top. Remember, that starts with our left hand. So when we do the right hand going on top, we have to let it do an extra beat over on our left-hand side so that our left hand can reach around over it. The way I like to describe this to people is that you have to do a beat with the right hand in your left armpit. You want to think the right goes over, and then it does an extra beat in the armpit, and then you can unwrap. Again, we want to think the right goes over, it does a beat in the left armpit, and then you can unwrap. Awesome. So just like we did with the right hand, we want to think the left goes over, and then it gets in an extra beat in the right armpit, and we come out of it. Again, the left goes over, it gets in an extra beat in the right armpit, and it comes back over. Sometimes what happens with people trying this out is they'll try and cross and then uncross and then go back. We don't want to do that. We want to keep the left hand over on the right hand side as the right hand reaches around on top of it. So I actually want you to practice getting in 10 reps on each side. So thinking that the right hand goes over, then in the armpit and back out, and then the left hand goes over, then in the armpit and back out. Again, the right hand goes over, then in the armpit, back out, and the left hand goes over, then in the armpit, back out. When you can do 10 reps going back and forth like that, then it's time to just see if you can go straight back and forth between them. You're going to think that the right hand goes over, the left hand goes over, right hand goes over, left hand goes over. You know that you're doing this right when you're constantly switching which hand is on top and your hands and poi are not tangling into each other. Here's what it looks like from the side. Thinking right over, left over, right over, left over. Just like that. Let me show you that from your perspective. Awesome, friends. So that is the 3-beat weave, but specifically taught in a way where I'm giving you techniques that are going to be super useful throughout your poi journey. Did you learn anything new in the course of this? I really hope so. If you got down the 3-beat weave as a result of watching this video, please make sure to post video of yourself performing it and tag me. I am at DrexFactor on all the platforms. Please make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to help other people find this video and to help my channel grow. This video would not be possible without my amazing supporters on Patreon. In particular, I'd love to give a shout out to my Flow patrons who are listed on screen right now. Thank you so much for helping me and supporting my channel, my work, and my mission. And if you out there watching also enjoy the content that I make and you'd like to see me make more of it, there's a very easy way that you can help me do so more in the future, and that is to sign up on my Patreon over at patreon.com/DrexFactorPoi. There you can get access to a whole host of awesome rewards, but even better than that, you'll be supporting me in my mission to bring poi spinning and flow arts to the whole wide world. Go check that out, please and thank you. And if you're watching this video and wished that you had learned the other technique for getting down the 3-beat weave, which will work inside of 30 minutes, I'm pretty sure, I will go ahead and link to that video down in the description as well as up on screen. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure to get out and flow today, and I'll see you with a new video real soon. Take care now. Peace.